if you really want change, then why aren't you changing? You have to understand that you only live in the present moment, and all you get is the present moment. And if we really think about it, the past and the future are, non-existent, because we live in the present moment. We exist within the present. So, we exist within a present. And if you're not using that present to gift yourself improvement, which is to better your life for the future, instead of worrying about the future, instead of, what if this happens, or, instead of worrying about your future success, why don't you just look at yourself right now in the mirror and say, I'm going to change right now, and I'm going to take actionable steps, and I'm going to improve my daily habits to change the individual that I am, because your habits are a reflection of you. Your habits inhabit your mind, and that's why if you watch porn, if you drink, if you're always indulging in negative habits, you're going to be a negative person, because the energy that you put out into the universe is going to fly back at you like a boomerang. So if you want to improve your life, then you're going to have to improve your habits, because again, you're inhabiting your habits, and what you indulge in, what you put your time and energy into, is what's going to reverberate back to you. And life is a mirror. It's not a window. So instead of looking through your phone at everyone, instead of watching people, look in the mirror and look at your reflection, look at your life, and see what you can improve to have a better reflection of yourself, to look in that mirror and see the beauty that you hold deep within you, to unveil that, that pottery that's never been opened, to open up the ancient artifact founded in the ruins of, paying the dues to attain your destiny. All right. So you have to become the individual. You have to be the individual you always needed. But the thing about you people is that you say you want to improve. You say you want to transform. You say you want to get better. It sounds good. It feels good to say it. But when it comes time to do it, you don't fucking do it, because you're so focused on everything else but yourself. You're focused on, what if this goes wrong, or what if this happens, or what if I don't follow through. Thinking about you not following through is you not following through because you thought about following through instead of just doing to do. So instead of thinking, you should start doing, because a lot of you think too much but you don't do enough. So you need to be the individual to take action immediately in the present tense, in the present moment. You need to pull out a journal. You need to write down habits that can improve your life right now. And you need to become the individual that you always needed by embodying him through your mind. You have to use your mind. You have to transform your mind, because your mind, you're lobotomized, you're inferior, your unintelligent, low IQ mind is what's projecting problems into the external world, reflections of you. So understand that, your life is a reflection of you. And if you have a problem externally, it's a reflection internally. And that takes a different level of comprehension and responsibility to understand that your life is your results. So like, if you have a problem in your life, that's your results. And you need to, if you can't solve that problem with action, then you ignore that problem. If you have to solve that problem with action, then you solve that problem with action. But a lot of you are okay with remaining a fucking retraction and then feeding all these distractions to, hinder yourself even more, to deplete yourself even more unconsciously, and to ignore the fact that you're out of shape, you're addicted, you're watching porn, like you're indulging in all these negative habits, and then you wonder why you feel like shit all the time. You wonder why you're so unfulfilled. You wonder why your heart is empty and your soul is craving to feel good. And since it's not feeling good healthily, it's not making moves in the directions to improve positively. It's going to slowly destroy itself through the alcohol, through the smoking, through the whatever you use to fulfill what is feeling unfulfilled within you, to make up for what is not whole but is supposed to be whole. You're supposed to be one with yourself. You're supposed to be grounded in yourself. And a lot of you aren't grounded in yourself. So you resort to the alcohol, the drugs, the vape, the weed, the psychedelics. You can eat a bag of mushrooms, but, wisdom comes through experience. And, you need to experience, you actually thriving for more. You need to actually go out into the world and actualize that dormant potentiality within you. But you can't just skip steps. I mean, of course, we're not going to limit you. And if you can get something done in a year instead of 5 years, then get it done in a year. But you can't just skip levels in your self-development. You need to be compounding daily, and you need to be, reading your books. You need to be indulging in your positive habits. You need to be informing into the individual that you need to be, because understand that your consciousness itself is formless, and so you can craft and mold yourself into the individual that you want to be. And that's why we have people like artists. That's why we have people like YouTube videos and motivational speakers and all these individuals who created their own path by molding themselves into that individual to walk that path. And if you can't mold yourself into the individual who can walk that path, then that path isn't going to be open for you. You're not going to be able to carve your own destiny. You're not going to be able to make moves in life towards the directions you want to go. You're not going to be able to do any of that because you overlapped, you relapsed and collapsed yourself, and you ignored the responsibility of the work of life. And the work of life is non-negotiable. So you can distract yourself, but when you walk around feeling, unfulfilled, when you're supposed to feel whole but you feel empty, when you feel like one side of you is missing, that other side is the work you were supposed to put into your life to channel that time and energy into constructing yourself and your life in that image of the ideal self that you wanted to become. And the ideal self has no attachments to anything negative. You're supposed to have zero problems but the problems that God gives you to solve. And the problems that God gives you to solve is problems that are out of your control, but you can solve by inputting, by putting in. So, you're not going to quit your addiction in a day. But if you input, if you open up that journal, if you start taking actionable steps to move towards that goal, if you actually start to thrive and to conquer yourself and to dominate and to incinerate that weakness and to, just decimate and to declare daily excellence through your habits, through your conduct, through your, the way you think, through your actions, through your behaviors, your life will start to transform in front of your eyes. And a lot of people, they miss out on the true path of life, which is creating your own path. And, some people are so severely limited due to mental inferiority complexes, due to, limiting belief systems, due to, neurological pathways that align them with a faulty outcome other than, the outcome, aka the path that they're supposed to walk, the neurological pathway that they were supposed to break down from the mental, from the metaphysical into reality by actually walking that path. Because as Wes Watson says, as you walk the path, so it illuminates. So you can't think about what's going to happen in your future. No, you're going to have to take steps right now in the present moment. And you're going to have to start with that self-development. And if you can't develop yourself, well, I'm telling you, you're going to live a life of profanity. You're going to live a life that you don't want to live, and then you're going to unconsciously project that through your behavior, through your arithmetic sequencing in the universe. So understand that you only live once, and to live a life of profanity, to not go out into the world and create your own path, to not look in that mirror and say, I know you can do more and I want to do more, so we're going to fucking do more until our body gets sore and we drop on the floor type shit. And, it's all about that relentless pursuit of, daily excellence, being that individual you need to be. And no matter what circumstance wants to break on your back, no matter what burden you're going to have to carry, no matter how heavy, it can get on your shoulders, and you can feel like you're carrying the world, and your mind is just shifting left and right, and your neck is swaying, and you don't know if your neck's going to break because the burden's so heavy. But then you keep pushing relentlessly, and you keep pushing up and forward, and then you take steps with these ginormous muscular legs, just walking up the mountain. And just like Sisyphus, how, he never got to the top of the mountain with the boulder, but we take steps to overcome that boulder, and we move that boulder up the mountain so fast and so magnificent and so beautiful that even God himself would think, I didn't think he could do it, but he did it anyways. Now, mindset coaching in the description, link it for the community in the description. Peace!